Oh yeah? His Majesty decided to come down from his throne and walk amongst us peasants? What did he want?
He said he wanted to personally thank us for our contributions to the city and hopes for our continued support. I'm sorry.
Our contributions? Those taxes we pay are a sham, so he can line his ivory trade tower with another layer of gold. Makes me sick. Welcome to Newell's. If you're looking for any specific goods, Rosa and I guarantee we'll beat Sieghart's lousy selection every time. Oh, I don't have a problem with his place. My problem is Siegert himself. That man has absolutely no respect for the business community on Neon. He skips merchant meetings and refuses to participate in any of our group buys. Worst of all, he pays off Neon's security to keep his place safe. Yeah, sure, if all you care about is yourself. Every payment Siegert makes validates Neon Security's corruption. He's setting a bad precedent that many merchants are forced to follow. Anyway, sorry. I know I can get a little intense about these things. If you'll forgive the outburst and have a look around, I'm sure you'll find something you might want to buy. Oh, okay, yeah. That'd be extremely helpful. I honestly don't know what to say. Yes, of course. On behalf of Rosa and I, thank you. Just be careful when you're dealing with Siegert. He can be surprisingly unreasonable when he's cornered. The first time I brought up the subject, we got into a huge argument. Siegert said he had every intention of paying Neon Security and that it was final. After that, I tried to speak to him a few times, but he's always been too busy to spend the time to sit down and have a decent conversation. It's obvious he has no intentions of talking to me anymore. I honestly don't know what I did to make him so angry with me. I arrived in Neon almost, 20 years ago? I had gotten a job at Xenofresh through a friend and started working on the loading docks. After a few years, they moved me up to Kazanbas processing, and that's where I met Rosa for the first time. She was my supervisor, but we hit it off right away. It wasn't long before we decided to quit Xenofresh, get married, and start our own business. We've been in love ever since. I'd say the majority of the guards are rotten, and the few who aren't simply take a paycheck and look the other way. They have Neon completely under their control. The Freestar Collective's own security doesn't even maintain a presence here. If it wasn't for the Freestar Rangers outpost, there wouldn't be a shred of justice in this entire city. Thanks for stopping by our shop.
And accessories for all your hectic needs.
Nothing better for erasing the stresses of a hard day's work than a cup of easy sleep tea. Welcome to Tranquility, your new favorite spot to refresh and escape from the hustle and bustle of Neon. I'm Delilah. Please let me know if you need any help or product recommendations. Is this your first time visiting Ryujin Tower? It's a pretty impressive building, isn't it? If you haven't gotten a chance to check out the NeuroAmp store yet, you really should. Tech like that goes way over my head, but it's amazing what Ryujin's engineers are capable of. Feel free to stop by for a chat anytime. You seem like an interesting person, and small talk goes nicely with a good cup of tea. Oh, Tranquility is the Settled System's #1 tea brand. We have a tea for pretty much any occasion, in a variety of standard and unique blends. If you'd like more information, you should visit our sales office upstairs. No, I'm not. I'm from a small farming settlement in a nearby system. Funnily enough, the farms my community maintains supply some of Tranquility's tea leaves. I grew up watching the ships and traders come in from Neon, and wishing I could get on one and see the city for myself. It seemed like such a fascinating place. That's probably for the best. I don't think the galaxy could handle more than one city like this one. So long!
Are you working toward that next technological leap? Then let Ryujin Industries help you get there. Fill out an application today to become part of the most advanced technology corporation in the settled systems.
You won't find better weapons in Neon than the ones I'm selling here. Hey, thanks for stopping by. The name's Ken. Let me know if you have any questions. I know these weapons like the back of my hand. I can't say I'm surprised. You have the look of someone with a steady hand and a good eye. If you've never tried an Arbron firearm, I highly recommend them. They fire more smoothly than Laredo weapons, and they're not as bulky as Combatex models. You can't go wrong. What brings you to Ryujin Tower today? Oh, good luck. Hopefully they'll hire you and we can stop listening to this non-stop audio ad. Don't be so surprised. Ryujin Tower's got a little of everything. Besides, here at Arbron, our goal is to provide safety and protection for our customers. That's why we're the only brand to carry our very own non-lethal weapons, the Nova line. Of course, the Nova series uses an electrically charged ammunition that can effectively stun a humanoid target. It's not so useful when it comes to critters, but if you need to buy some time or get someone off your back, they'll do the trick. Well, I'd better be. I'm a Freestar Navy vet. Firearm expertise comes with the territory. I saw more than my share of action with a gun in my hand. Those days are behind me, though. Now I prefer to stay behind the counter and let other people do the gunslinging. Plenty of stock today. Bye now.
Welcome to the Ryujin Industries product store. Looking for a NeuroAmp? NeuroAmps are Ryujin Industries' signature product. They're small pieces of wearable tech that enhance some of the user's brain functions. Some of our best sellers can help with anything from focus and short-term memory to communication and confidence boosting. It really is. Trust me, once you put one on, you'll never look back. Why don't you check out the shop? It's worth browsing even if you aren't looking to buy. NeuroAmps mostly, same as always. Have a good one.
Higher vessels have some real cutting-edge tech. I've always wanted to see what makes their ships tick.
I wonder what Miss Ulrich will come up with next.
Just 3 more paychecks.
Higher vessels certainly look impressive. But it's what's inside the engine room that really counts.
So I can take the first spin now?
Everyone who's anyone has a tie. Every Tayo innovation gets copied by the other star yards.
You ready to change your life? I just can't decide. People spend their whole lives dreaming of flying a sleek, sexy spaceship. And I get to make that happen. Tayo brings out the very best in people. I know, right? Are you ready to make your dreams come true?
You fly a Tayo already, right?
Excellent.
Definitely.
If you decide to buy, we'll have your new ship all polished up and waiting for you at the spaceport. Yay!
Oh,
We've got something
that
for
sucks.
everyone.
You definitely. We need that. It's way more fuel.
No ship's better in the settled systems.
I know.
The founders of Tayo were visionaries that looked at the star yards around and saw a tremendous opportunity. Neon has a life, a beat of its own, and that excitement that life was missing. So they worked on making ships that really sung, had a joy to them, something special. Now Tayo is the jewel of Neon. Goodbye.
Tayo is simply the best.
What ship is the most?
I wonder how many poor souls who couldn't make it in New Atlantis ended up working at the fisheries in Neon.
Kids are going to love it.
That salesperson was really nervous. I hope he got all our details right.
We'll find out soon enough. And I'm sure you made his day with the sale. Now let's stop by Tranquility on the way out.
You read my mind.
Don't cause any trouble.
Keep out of my way, and I'll keep out of yours. Don't wander into any restricted areas. I've got my eye on you.
I hate being stuck.
Hey, you need something?
Just waiting for more info. As usual.
I'm a little busy right now.
I better do this right. Why don't you go read that nebula?
This intel could blow a whole operation out of the water.
April, I finished that research you needed done. Everything's
I'd
right.
hate to be on Miss Olzo's bad side.
There's always work to be done. Pace yourself, but make it a fast one. You're interrupting me. Is this time accounted for? I doubt that. I check my schedule regularly, and this conversation was not on the budget. If time is money, then suffice to say Ms. Serrano would not be pleased with such a frivolous expenditure. You may have a point. And since you clearly have bandwidth to spare, Maybe you can help me clean up a minor indiscretion. Good. Let me give you some background. Recently, I've been assisting the impoverished in both Ebside and the Underbelly. I pay for the occasional meal, clinic visit, or comfort. But I may have lost a slate in the process. I need you to locate and retrieve it for me. Then we have an agreement. Good. Go to the Underbelly and talk to the panhandler, Huang. Discarded items are her specialty, so she may have come across the slate herself. If you can manage to find it, bring it back to me, and I will pay you for the time. We'll each assign shifts to assist operatives, ensuring coverage at all hours. Personally, I like to keep my circadian rhythms intact, early to rise, early to bed, as nature intended. I'm not at liberty to say. I will remind you of another common phrase: loose lips sink ships. So, be cautious around the office and discuss intel at your peril. Perhaps I can best explain with an analogy. There is an aquatic species on Volai Epsilon which, by cruel irony or test of metal, hatches on dry land. Only 1 in 10,000 make it to adulthood. Most are eaten, some simply die in the crawl to the ocean. Meanwhile, there is a similar species that is born in the water itself. They never make this journey and thus never know its hardship. Which begs the question, is that fair? In the natural world, I'd agree, but here, we can make a change. I know what you're thinking, and I am not what you'd call a bleeding heart. Moreover, I find the Underbelly filthy and unsanitary. But I also believe in equity. I am well aware that my life came with a head start, so I try my best to balance the equation and bring the hatchlings to the water. Think what you will, but I don't have to approve of the notion. But as much as I dislike the Underbelly, I will say this: it is a welcome change of pace. When you spend all day keeping secrets, a burden is placed on one's conscience. The time I spend volunteering sheds some of that weight. As you were.
Great. A full spacesuit. Corporate environments aren't that toxic. Just waiting on you.
Greater strength, tell them you lack empathy for your clients. That will make you a front runner for a mega position.
All right, just to get a few things straight here. I'm Imogen Salzo, Senior Operations Specialist here at Ryujin Industries. I don't normally do this, but my counterpart Yuko is indisposed at the moment, so here I am. We're looking for someone to fill an entry-level administrative position. Apparently, our algorithm has failed us and believes you to be a decent match, which I'll take up with our technicians later. So, let's get this over with. Why do you want to work for Ryujin Industries? A pretty knowledgeable answer for someone who claimed to have no familiarity with Ryujin and our product lines. You're either a bit too modest or smart enough to put in a little research before coming here. Oh, and only one of those qualities is of any use. I assume you know which one. This next one should be interesting, considering you marked having 0 experience. Why do you consider yourself qualified for a job like this? I can't help but wonder if that's why you're here today and not behind bars, considering your track record. And yes, of course we know you have one. Yuko's algorithm at least hasn't failed us there. Your past is not a concern, for now. Just know that we have ways of keeping an eye on you around here. How motivated are you to succeed? All in, huh? At least that's an attitude we can work with here. And finally, my last question. If you worked here for 5 years, what role would you see yourself in? In that case, you'd find yourself on one of the best teams in the settled systems. It's nice to see someone take an interest in the legal side of cybersecurity, but I hope you enjoy a challenge. The hackers these days keep our people busy round the clock. So look, since there's a million other things I'd rather be doing than this, not to mention that this isn't even my job, you're hired. On a probationary period, of course. First order. There's a meeting starting soon, and I need you to pick up the coffee order at Terra Brew. Fairly easy, so you shouldn't be able to screw it up. If there's a line, skip it. Tell them you're here for Imogen Salzo, and you should get served right away.
I've got my eye on you.
Phew, I am just stuck here until the tech's finish compiling some information I want.
Welcome.